All right, so we are on box 12, which is another 5 cubic feet box. So this one is pretty full. First thing we have in here is these extra, and I don't think that we actually need to keep these. These, I believe, are done. But it's extra models for the game of tanks. If you've ever played X-Wing, tanks is basically the same thing, but army themed. And you can buy different ones. So this one here is, what was it? The M1441, which is like specific to the one country. And then it comes with all the information and who manned it and all this one. And this one is another one that is the Semovente, I don't know. And it's, you actually get the piece to put this model together, and you would kind of take all the pieces out, put the model together, and then you use that little model tank in the game of tanks, which my kid was big into tank models. So when I came across this game, I was like, well, this is perfect for him. So we got it for his birthday in 2017. I want to say, and then we've had this game so long time, so we've got all sorts of models with it. Now we've got a big 4x4 kind of mat that has like these roads, and you can add these cardboard pieces that show like different bracks or whatever, and then it actually comes with well, it didn't come with, we've got a laser pointer that does a line, so you can verify if you have line of sight when you're battling. It's really cool. Then in here, I also have Las Vegas Royale. This is such a neat game, cool theme. It's kind of one that's easy to play. Everybody seems to really enjoy it. It's area control dice placement. So you roll the dice, depending on the number you are, you put them at that particular casino. Whoever has the most control at that casino gets the highest price that's available there. There's 2 money kind of available at each casino. But if you tie with somebody, that neutralizes you, so you kind of don't count, then it would go to the next person. So you want to be the highest, but also not have anybody match you either. And then this one kind of shifted a little bit. Oh, shifted a lot. But this is Dice City. So Dice City, it's kind of neat because you have this big grid. Each player has their own player board that has all sorts of spaces on it, and then the way that it works is everybody gets one of each dice colors, and you would roll all of that, and then whoever has the most, like, and you would roll, and then so you have a yellow, a black, a red, and a white, and then depending on what you roll, you get to activate what's at that location, and so you're acquiring different card to upgrade what's at the different location, so that when you roll, you kind of activate something a little bit better. And I like to do kind of like one row is all military stuff, and then the next row is going to be all different things, and then there's different things that you need to do to kind of collect the cards or battle with the cards so that you can get the victory points. I totally played this upside down, but it's a neat game, and I've played it a few times. I enjoy it. It's one that, I don't know, it doesn't blow me away, but it's just unique enough that it's one I choose to keep in my collection. So that's Dice City. And then I have Blockus Shuffle. We got this for my my kid because it's Uno Blockus Shuffle, and it kind of combines Uno cards and the Blockus game, which is actually, this is pretty neat. Like, I enjoy Blockus. We had Blockus 2 players only, so this is Blockus 4 players, and you could play it without the cards and just play it as regular Blockus. But the cards kind of allows you to manipulate or kind of break some of the rules. So it's like, okay, well, this time you can actually share a piece or a side with your piece, so go ahead and put that, but if you have the card to do that. So it's neat. And then I also have When I Dream, and this is a game that I've heard of quite a few times. It's been mentioned, and it's super cute because like the card holder is actually a bed, and I've never played it, so I'm not 100% sure of how it plays. But it's 4 to 10 players, so kind of like a party game. It reminds me of Dixit with the images, and then I think there's a kind of a bit of that element into it. So I'll have to get it played to know more about it. And then I have Sushi Rolls. So we have Sushi Go Party, and then Sushi Roll, which is just a dice version of Sushi Go. And then you have these dice that you roll and they go on a conveyor belt, and then they come to you, and then you kind of draft the dice and add them to your kind of plate, I guess it is. And then depending on what you collect, how much points it would be. So it's interesting because be like, okay, well, I want the nigiri dice, but then you're rolling it and you're not necessarily rolling what you want. So like there's different aspect to it that kind of makes this game pretty cool. And then Patrick wanted Throw Burrito, but he owns it at his dad's house. So I was like, well, if you already have it, you don't need 2 copies of the same game. And when Patrick was little, and this is my youngest, when he was little, we would go to parties and stuff, and then they would have snacks for all the kids, and they're trying to give him snacks, and he'd be like, hey, Patrick, what do you want? And then he would point to the avocado and says, I'd like the avocado. And she's like, what? I mean, there's chips, there's candies, and this kid is asking for the avocado. And then she's like, is he for real? I was like, that's okay, you don't have to give him the avocado, but yeah. And she's like, I don't mind. So she cut up the avocado, and he ate the entire avocado. Just like that, with a little bit of salt on it. But so I got him instead throw avocado. Also got him avocado socks at one time. It's just funny. I haven't met another kid that likes avocado just like him. We can't make guacamole in my household because the avocado is always gone. But so they're little foamy avocado that I think you chuck at each other. I've never played Throw Burrito, and I haven't got to play Throw Avocado just yet either. I think you forgot about it because at the old house, my shelves were so full that I had all the games stacked and I would put one in front. So you only see the game that's facing forward, and then you kind of forget what else is on the shelf. So this one I think got forgotten a little bit. And then I have the Networks. Bought this one secondhand, and it's such a cool game. It's so neat and it's funny because you are a TV producer and you run a channel on the TV, a network on the TV, and you gotta get actors, and then you gotta get shows to run on your TVs, and you gotta get ads and commercials so that you can make money from your shows that you have on your TV shows. And so you're just running a TV show, and then you're like, hey, well, we'll do it for 1 season, and then for 2nd season it's worth even more, but on the 3rd season it's losing interest, so we better put that in the rerun and get new shows, and it's neat. So that's the Network, such a great game. And then I have in here La Fureur de Dracula. So it's the Fury of Dracula, which is kind of like a cat and mouse game. So one person is Dracula, the other ones are trying to hunt him down, and you don't know where he is. But this is the French version. A friend of mine had this, and he could play it because he didn't speak French, so he gave it to me. And if I ever get together with my siblings, we could definitely play this one, so that'd be cool. I got this one just before COVID hit, so I haven't had the opportunity to play it with them yet. And then I have Orléans. Orléans is a neat game. I've played it just the one time actually, and it was at FallCon, but it's a bag builder game / worker placement game / bunch of different stuff. Like there's also so much that you can do, but each player have their own board. And you're trying to activate the different action on it, so you got to draw in your bag and pull out, like each location's like you need different people to activate the one. So like this one's a blue person and a brown person, so you would want to draw that out of your bag and then assign them there so that you can activate that ability. And then you're going around the map on here kind of placing your tokens on, and then you also have all these tracks you're trying to move up on, and then you get the scoring track along the bottom. It's a really interesting game. I bought this copy secondhand because we had played the copy with the deluxe bits, like all the deluxe components, and my friend was like, I can't go back to my regular copy, so he sold me his regular copy and he bought the deluxe version. And I gotta say, those deluxe bits were amazing. It definitely makes a difference. But so I have the regular Orléans. I also have in here Lord of Waterdeep, and I'm not going to tip this one too well because it doesn't do well with tipping. But this is the first worker placement game that I bought, and it's probably one of the games that kind of really got me into the hobby. My brother brought it home, or brought it over when we were playing for my birthday one weekend, and then the rest is history. I got so into board games, and it's neat. And then this one is, so it's Dungeons and Dragon theme, but you're going around collecting resources, and you have cards that have like these missions you got to do, and then you spend the resources, which are the different colored cubes, to activate that ones, and then you kind of get the points from it. So it's such a fun, neat game. I really enjoy this one. And then in here I also have Disc Dash. My ex-sister-in-law got me this for Christmas, and the boys and I played this, and I got the all the kids and I played this, and it gets like, you just has this elastic, and you pull this wooden disc against it, and you let go, and it flicks it forward, and you gotta try to get it through this little tiny hole in the middle there, and the goal is to get all the disc on the other side. So it's like you're flicking and flicking and flicking and trying to get them sent to the other side, and if you ever clear out your side, then you win the game. We would kind of set this up, and we'd play it again and again and again. It was a lot of fun. Then I also have the horse racing game. So this one is cool, and it plays with poker chips and with a deck of card and dice, and you have your horse going from 2 to 12, and you roll the dice, and then at first you kind of scratch some of the horses, and if those ever come up, you have to pay into the pot every time those get selected. But then you deal out the cards, and those cards are like your ticket on a different horse, and whichever horse wins the game. Now the high probability one, like the 7 and 8, and have a much longer path to go, while like the 2 and the 12 have a very short path they need to go, because it's less likely to roll a 2 or a 12. So you're cheering for your horse, trying to get them, and you got your card, so you know which horse you got a ticket on. And then whenever there's a winner, whatever money's got collected in the pot gets divided up by 4, and depending on how many tickets you have, you get that a segment of that. And then you kind of play a few rounds until whoever gets the most money is the winner. It's a fun one, honestly. This one you can play pretty much any number of players. This one always goes really good. And then I got this one a little while ago. Haven't played it yet, but it's Mission Red Planet. I have heard tons of stuff about this one, and it sounds so neat, and I really want to play it. And this is what it looks like on the back here. It's a Bruno Cathala and Bruno Fiducci game, and it looks so good. So I'm excited to play it and see what all the fuss is about. So yeah, Mission Red Planet. And then we also have in here Subdivision. So we got Subdivision, and we've heard tons, like Suburbia gets talked about all the time and how great Suburbia is. And I had bought the big collector's edition box of Suburbia, and we played it, and then we played Subdivision, and we liked Subdivision so much more that I was like, you know what? I don't need both, because if we're gonna, let's play with this, you know what? Let's play Subdivision, because we enjoy that one better. So I got rid of Suburbia. But this one is really cool. So you kind of build this, you have this map, and you build the city, and you're trying to connect things together to score, and then you roll a dice that kind of indicates where it should go. And if you don't want to send it there, then you'd have to pay to send it to a different location, and you're building this little subdivision and scoring it at the end, and it's a lot of fun. And that's in my collection there. And then I have this one here. Oh my god, and it's so heavy. Whew. So I bought this one, I think back in February. And it's called Thunderstone Advance. And this is a big, heavy game. Like, it is so heavy. And I haven't gotten to play it yet. So it's one that I wanted to try. It's a deck building game, a fantasy adventure, it says. And then a friend of mine said this is what Dominion should have been. So I'm assuming it has kind of like that feel to it. So is it a bit like Aeon's End? I have no idea. As I said, I've never played this one. I like the theme. I like the fantasy theme. I like the mechanism of deck building. So I should like this one. But oh my god, how many cards are in here? This is heavy. More than 500 new cards. So yeah. Oh. Okay, so that's in there. Then we also have Time Stories. So I bought this one secondhand. I have to reset the game. Still, so I've never played Time Stories, but from what I understand, it's kind of like a story you're going through and you're trying to figure out how to get through, and it's like a time travel thing. And then if you don't figure things out, then you restart the story and you kind of try by changing a few things until you can kind of make it through the scenario. And there's multiple different scenarios, and it's just one that I've heard lots of good things about, and I'm really excited to give this one a try. And it looks really cool. So that's Time Stories. And then I have the Tanks game. So I showed you those couple little model things that was in there. Well, this is the actual game, and it's not in there very, like, doesn't match, but so this one came with 3 little models you would put together. I think it was a Sherman and the Panther. And so 2 Sherman and a Panther, I think it is. And then you kind of get on this map and you kind of battle the 2, like 1 versus 1. And it's such a neat game. And then these are all the, like, the different things that you can put on the map. And as I mentioned, we bought an actual, like, it's not a neoprene mat because it's super thin, but it's like a plastic layout mat that you can put out. Super cool. We got this one for Jerome. He loved it. We ended up getting him tons of extra tanks so that he could put the models together, and him and his friend Riley play this one all the time. And then we actually have this thing here, which is all the different tanks that he's built. So I'll just kind of show you. So this one looks like he started painting it but didn't finish. So, and all of them are designed to have the top come off. So you go around and you battle until you're dead, and then you take your turret off to show that this one has been destroyed. It's so neat. And then there's a dice. So when you're battling, you roll the dice to see how many hits and all that stuff. And then this is the laser pointer I was mentioning, and it kind of does the little red line so you can see if you have line of sight. Super cool. Such a fun, neat game. Like, I'm not big into the army thing, but I really enjoy this one. Well, okay, so there we go. That's closed down now, so it's not gonna fall apart. And then the last thing I have in here is, oh my god, super heavy, but it's just a set of poker chips. So this is the poker chips I use when we play the horse racing game. If the boys like to play, have their friends over, and they'll do like poker nights. So those are the poker chips that gets used for that as well. So these are really heavy. But yeah, so that's it for what's in this box. Be sure to stay tuned and catch tomorrow to see what else I have in my game collection. Bye, everybody.